Good Saturday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age conversation channel, and other interesting things that I seem to come up with on a daily basis, which is not always in plain and great detail. But hey, welcome to the channel. Well, maybe they kind of know the routine here, being that I start talking about things and give ideas and views. And hey, all the bikes are back. You'd think it was up in Virginia. Look at the garage here. Who would ever imagine that the motorcycles would have taken over the garage, right? Even for me. I got that on the battery tender, but that thing's pretty strong. I had to buy another battery tender. You know how many battery tenders I have? Yeah. Can you imagine? Yeah, and if you don't put battery tenders in your bikes, how does that play out? But here, I got the Harleys back yesterday, and they cleaned up my daughter's bike. Really nice dealership, this Tampa. The Tampa Harley-Davidson dealership in Florida. The crew was really nice. I mean, they just went the extra mile. Really great people. I mean, they cleaned up all the abrasion, and very nice of them. Didn't even charge me for it. And we did the Road Glide service, and believe it or not, something I learned years ago, when you have these fancy dancy motorcycles, you have the ABS, brake system on them. You know, not all motorcycles have ABS, but every 2 years you have to flush the brake fluid. And some people are like, that's a bunch of malarkey. Nope. If you read the back of the motorcycle, it's mandatory every 2 years you change out the brake fluid, because what happens is there's moisture in the brake line, and it goofs up the ABS system, where you end up having to replace a major component of the ABS system, so it gets very expensive. So yesterday they called me, and they even sent me pictures of their moisture meter tool, and they said, hey, motorcycle, this brand new motorcycle that I just bought, it's used but it's brand new, it's got a 4% moisture level in it, and that's beyond the recommendation. You know, it's beyond what is allowable in this motorcycle. You got to change out the brake fluid. What do you want to do? Well, I'm like, what I'm gonna have to do, right? But I was like, man, that's hard to believe. That bike's a 2021. It's like a year old. So I said, do me a favor, look up build date on this bike. So that bike was built back in August of 2021. So the bike is now, I guess if I want to say it's 16 months old, that would be pretty accurate. And it should have gone a good 2 years, but at the end of the day, it wasn't huge money, but it just adds a ticket. But the gentleman down there, then they washed the bike and cleaned it all up. It's interesting how each motorcycle dealership kind of does its own thing. And, some will kind of do that, and others not so much. And you know what I didn't look at, which I want to check out here, is, how much detail did they do? That's interesting. So they did clean it, but yeah, okay. But anyways, they did the general cleaning on it, so that was nice of them. And yeah, it's a Saturday morning. Usually I don't do a lot of Saturday morning videos. I usually do it Monday through Friday, but it's the New Year's Eve day. Yeah, Happy New Year. And what's your big plans for the big New Year's Eve bash? Do you have one? And look down here in Florida. Boy, the weather has changed. It's overcast. But the biggest thing is, shorts and Crocs. I don't know if you can kind of see that or not. It's kind of hard to see, but I'm back into my short Crocs here because it's humid. Now, that's the number one challenge down here, is it's humid. And it's a sauna down here. So here is the December 31st, and today, but it's just all the humidity in there. So you're just, it's just that. If anybody understands all that, it's really interesting. I went and got my get this. So I went and got the here on Wednesday, and they gave me a call yesterday, and they say, hey, we did not calculate the taxes correctly, and you owe us like $89.01. I was like, wow, that's too bad, but okay, that's it's not big, I'll come down there, I'll do whatever I gotta do. So I called them, and they were basically like, well, you can come back down here. Oh my God, jeez. And they're like, well, you know what? We'll make an exception. Here's an acorn. These acorns, yeah, everywhere, just acorns. The squirrels down here, yeah, I'm not talking about me. Yeah, anyways, I called them, and they're like, "Well, you need to come back down." Well, technically, you're supposed to make an appointment. I mean, I just got that trailer in Florida, and I was telling you yesterday about how maybe it need a tag. Yeah, have to have a tag to drive on the road. But the earliest appointment they had was next Friday at 3:15. I'm like, forget that. So look at people up north. So here, yeah, anybody know those pictures? Just watch my channel. Yeah, that makes me think about a gentleman in Australia. Get this. Gotta have a coffee. Wow, that's hot stuff. Woo! It's just too hot. Oh yeah, or I should say a subscriber from Australia. Don't take it the wrong way, whether I just called how I said that, but a subscriber from Australia literally commented on my video yesterday. I mean, this is so cool. The person said, "Hey, I look forward to every day after I get off to work of watching your videos." I mean, that's really neat. He likes to see our country, and I told him, one day I'm going to get to Australia. I've always have been intrigued to go to Australia. I think that'd be really neat. So one day, maybe I'll take a ride over there, right? That'd be pretty cool. So, anyways, that was just really neat. I thought it was really nice. Somebody, really nice comments. So, anyways, back to the DMV here in Florida. So, here's the thing. We all have challenges, and we all kind of get upset about little things. But for me, I try to kind of step back sometimes and think, well, let's see if we can make the better of it. So, anyways, called DMV, and they're like, yeah, well, you need to come back down. I'm like, jeez. I just don't have time. But I'm like, okay, all right, I'm going to make this work. So I said, well, I'll ask you a question. I just bought a trailer. Would there be any chance I can get my trailer tag while I'm doing this? She's like, oh, absolutely. Wow. So, I drive down there yesterday. This is incredible. This is the DMV. I'm not lying to you. I leave the house at 11 o'clock. It's 15 minutes to the DMV. I get to DMV. I do all the transactions. I'm back home here at noon. Who do you know can go to the Department of Motor Vehicles and get a registration plate for a vehicle and walk in the place and get home from driving time there? Oh my gosh. So anyways, really nice lady that worked there. She's actually from Wisconsin. She's a Harley lady. And so I went over and I made sure she knew I came and paid the bill. Because I know the individual wife, she feels like she made a mistake. And I get that. And that's why when they called, I didn't talk to her directly, but I just knew this was on her shoulders. So I'm like, I got to take care of this. And I did. And I went over and saw her. And she, which I know, then she's like, okay, this is put to bed. I don't have a mistake on my clock that we've got to undo paid balance. And I went up to her and she was apologizing to me. I said, no way. I said, you did me a favor. She's like, what? I said, I bought a trailer and I need to get the tag registered on it. And this is going to be turned into a little more of another project. And I couldn't even get in your DMV again for like next week. And you actually making that mistake enabled me to come down here and get this tag in this trailer like instantly. She's like, oh my gosh. So she was really happy to hear that things, worked out. I said, wow. So I said, see, we all take the bad, but we get all riled up, but then try to make the good out of it. All right. So what's going on today? The Saturday morning conversations. And so last night I took some time of finding all the vehicles I bought this past year. So yeah, it's the year of the cars. That I have to say was the biggest year ever. Was it ever planned? So a year ago today, if I would have been talking to you on my YouTube channel, which I wasn't doing this a year ago, I wasn't doing the morning conversations. I kind of just evolved to that. And if I would have said to you a year ago today, hey, this is what I'm going to do next year and buy all those cars. No, I didn't have any. That was never a New Year's resolution. What's your New Year's resolution? Is your New Year's resolution to go to the gym? Come on. How many people are enjoying the gym or have joined the gym? Is your New Year's resolution to be in better shape? Isn't it like that? Is that probably the number one thing that's a New Year's resolution that people make? Which is a great thing. I'm not here being critical of anybody. I'm just sharing. I think the number one thing is probably you want to get healthier, right? That's a good thing. I hope so. Or it's your finances or you're going to be getting married next year. Or maybe get divorced next year. Who knows? It goes both ways. But what's your New Year's resolutions of what your accomplishments are going to be? I know one thing for Tesla, for Twitter, worst performing stock in the whole stock market. Is that factual? I think I heard that. So now it's the TNT. TNT means Tesla Twitter. So Elon Musk is the TT man. Yeah, yeah, I think that's her. Elon Musk. I just thought of myself last night. Hey, Elon Musk owns Tesla and Twitter. What's with the T's? And does the TTs make him go broke? I don't know. I mean, Jesus Christ, the Twitter. It's too. When I go on that Twitter account, there's so much information being fed. How do you even stay attuned to that Twitter thing? Just so many weird. There's weird people. There's just the weirdos. The weirdos are on Twitter. If you ask me, I mean, I've just never been a Twitter person. Finally subscribed, and yeah, whoop de doo dah. Right. It's if you want to sit on. I guess you want to sit on a device all day long and just do nothing but type and make comments and just that's all you do all day long. That's your world, but it isn't mine. I want to be out living life and doing things besides being behind a device all day long. Oh yeah, right. This is the guy that makes YouTube channels every day. Yeah, I hear you. But usually I'm still moving, going somewhere, doing something. Not like I'm just sitting in my office all day long, right? Or my parents' living room, right? Yeah, don't get too critical, right? So, the tornado threat. So here's the thing. So you're down here. I've been through those coming down 95. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I was thinking was time I've ever stayed in Florida. Meaning I've always when I come for Christmas, my daughter's been in the elementary school, then middle school, and high school, and she has to be back in school by what January 3rd is it? They'll probably have I don't know. Tomorrow's January 1st, and Sunday they usually have a holiday on from Sunday to Monday, or do they? But anyways, so usually we've long gone because the traffic's horrendous. Getting up 95, get up that 95 quarter, just brutal. So Florida and being here for the first of the year, and definitely hang out here this coming week. How much further it goes from that, I don't know. It all comes down to what's going on up north and all the other projects, and doesn't end. Wow, time squares me. That how about that for a change of pace and weather? Wow, so been pretty blessed for the New Year Big Bash. That what was it? Dick Clark used to do the annual New York Times Square New Year's Eve thing with the big ball. Yeah, oh yes, there you go. Barbara Walters passed. Pope Benedict passed. So we just hear it's just at the end of the year. Some key people that have been known very well. I mean, known here in this country, Barbara Walters. I'm sure she's known somewhat around the world, but for the Pope Benedict, that was huge for his tenure and how that kind of got weird at the end, I guess. But anyways, so sorry to hear that, right? Another unique people and talented people and that have been here and gone. So yeah, anyways, so I was thinking to myself yesterday, I told you I was going to try to find all my cars. And I was going to try to figure out how many vehicles I have purchased throughout this year. And after I get on my iPad, this is just never ending. It just doesn't end on the technology of doing this and doing that and having to find that. And yeah. So this is what I did. Here is the 2022 Ford Bronco Hot Pepper Red. And I picked that up January of this past January. There, and when I was thinking to myself, there's a story behind every vehicle, and I got to be careful because the video will be forever. But yeah, and that's my wife just always gets a kick out of walking the door and tell her, hey, and she'll just be like, oh yeah, oh, this is the special one, right? Oh, they only made a few of them, right? Oh, you got the deal of the century, right? I mean, if you think I'm making this up, my wife, she's like got it down to a T. You're like, she's just like, yeah, right. Oh, you're gonna keep this one forever, right? Yeah, does she know me too doggone well? She sure does. Anyways, so with that vehicle there, it's interesting is I ordered that vehicle in pandemic July of 2020, and the color I originally picked was the color I now have out in the driveway, the Cactus Gray Bronco. But then the last second, I changed the color to the Hot Pepper Red that came available in 2022, and by changing that color, it actually bumped the vehicle from being a 2021 to a 2022 Bronco. And I just really love that part with that. I mean, I really didn't think I'd ever part with that vehicle. Just a beautiful vehicle. I just love that vehicle. All right, so next thing we did, so that was number one. Next thing I did in February is I finally got my Tremor F-250 truck that I was wanting to get. I worked on trying to get that Tremor truck for like a good year. and the Ranger Tremor. So I bought 2 Tremors for basically it was my birthday gifts, the way I looked at it. So got those, and so that'd be 3 because I did a twofer, and I gave up the Blue Ranger. And even thinking I was crazy as I lifted that Blue Ranger and I put exhaust on it and a tuner on it, and I really thought that was an air intake, or I thought that was a huge mistake, possibly trading that for that Ranger there, the Tremor. But oh my gosh, I love that Tremor Ranger. Even my wife loves that thing. She drives the heck out of that thing. So I really am glad that I did that. You buy vehicles, I've done it. You sell it and you think, oh gosh, why did I let it go? I wish I didn't let that go. It was a mistake. Like that Harley Road Glide CVO that I have in the garage. I so regretted back in the fall of 2019 that I sold that. But I told my wife, people, for my wife, she's been very loving and forgiving for me and my marriage, and I'm not complaining about that. I've been blessed. But for my wife, I told my wife that back in 2019 I bought the Indian motorcycles, and she's just like, Jesus Christ, And I'm like, right, I know. And he gets rid of something. So my agreement was, if I got the Indian motorcycle, I'd get rid of my Road Glide. Because I got a Road Glide, because I got the Challenger Indian. And then, it's the same copy vehicle. So I got rid of that in place of getting the Indian Challenger. But I always regretted getting rid of that CVO 117 Road Glide. I really regretted it. I wish I didn't sell it. But it was part of my agreement I made with my wife. So I did that, right? Well, so to get the Road Glide back, wow, that thing is so nice. All right. So just saying that anybody ever vehicle. So there were 3, and then we picked up the Mach-E Grabber Blue, and and I think I got that in February as well. Maybe March, I think February. But it's a really nice car. I really did like that vehicle. That's a great car. That was my first electric vehicle experience. Then to start figuring out the electric vehicles. So that was number 4. All right. Now we go Mustang Mach 1. And that vehicle came, I think, in late March, maybe early April. And that's because another vehicle disappeared, a Mustang Bullitt, which if you follow my channel, you'll understand that sadly the Mustang Bullitt that I had went away. And so I replaced it with a Mach 1. And the irony to that car there is kind of keep that to get money out of it, but also that was a beautiful, nice car. Really nice Mustang. Even a point, I even sometimes thought I should just sell my GT500, but since I bought my GT500 back, I just kind of had a hard time letting that be the reason to let it go. But that Mach 1 was in it, and it has the Shelby suspension components in it. A beautiful car, just great car. And I worked on that deal to get that car for close to a month. For them to finally take the ADM off of it and make the deal go down, that was a lot of work. But then I barely used it. Which what's that? That makes that what, 5 or 6? I'll look at what I mean. But we'll go through again just because I can just slip through real quick. So there's the Mustang Mach-E White Space that I bought for my wife, which she really likes the car, but she's not excited about the charging challenges. And that was back, that had to be March or April. And so there they are. There's the 2 Mustangs and the Bronco and Space White. And that's Fighter Jet, I think. Gray, it was the Mach 1, and then the Hot Pepper Red. All right, and then we picked up the F450 dually, but what's kind of missing here in the sequence of the videos is that Bronco back there. So I got that Bronco like in, I think, May or April. And then I didn't get this until after I got the F-150 Lightning, but we'll get to that in a second. The kid loves that vehicle. But you'll know the story if you're kind of watching the video. I got it going on now. The weather. Yeah, if you follow my channel, you'll see that vehicle was sold. Yeah, I sold that vehicle, but yet then it came back. Yeah. So then here's the daughter's GT50 Mustang. Kind of got her thinking more of a graduation gift for her. That was kind of more that thought. She gets her graduation gift, a Mustang. How many these are people in life haven't had that? That was her graduation gift. That's the way I looked at it to kind of justify it. And she didn't want to drive the Mustang Mach 1, and I was going to let her drive that. Just too much of a rare car and no way. So she really missed the Bullet that she used to drive. So came a closure, I get her a nice Mustang. So she got that. Loves it, and that's got a lowered suspension on it and exhaust on it, and it's just a really nice car. She's a love transmission, which that's a prerequisite of any car. Challenger. Then I picked up this. That was never even planned. Remember I was saying there's a story behind everything you buy. Never even planned on buying that. I was more fixated on me getting the Indian Pursuit, which you don't see it right here. But back in February of last year, and that was really the more I was focused on. But then the Indian Challenger Elite Series, which is a special paint theme and all. I don't even know if that. It's kind of hard to see it through there, but the paint theme, it was a limited run, like 200 motorcycles, and has that lean technology. I have barely even ridden that motorcycle. It's just incredible. But that thing's beautiful bike. Okay, so I got that. And that was kind of not even planned, but it played out. And then this is August, where I ordered a Maverick truck for my dad, which in the end he didn't like, and I shipped it back up to my house. And my dad's back in the Ranger truck that I bought him, like 3 years ago. So there's a Ford Maverick. And then there's the Raptor truck. And I'm thinking to myself about I'm sure anybody out there is in a favorite vehicle. And what's really crazy is Ford Raptor pickup truck. This truck is what converted me to Ford. Meaning the Ford Raptor product years ago in 2017, fall of 2017, that's what converted me to kind of go to the Ford product line. So if somebody said, well, what's your vehicle? The Ford Raptor pickup truck is definitely one of my favorite all-time trucks that I've ever owned. I think it's just a really nice truck and vehicle. But then I have to put the Bronco Raptor up there as well. So that I love that truck. And that was never planned either. That was just I rolled up to the Ford Baltimore. It was a freshly used, a guy took it and flipped it. It had 1,000 miles on it when I bought it. But I really wanted the 37-inch wheel and tire package. And I just about pulled that off last year, it was fall of 2021. It was actually I had a deal to pick one up, but it was just too expensive, and I walked away from the deal. So I do that just for a record. All right, let's see here. Well, there's a GT500 carbon fiber track Heritage Edition, which never had my eyes on this. Never. I never had my plans of buying this vehicle. Never. I mean, it's a track car. I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to track it. I wish I was more of that type of person, but I'm not. So just never planned to buy that car. And it's sitting with like 78 miles on it. If I want to eventually flip it, do I make some money out of it? I think I can. I prefer not to get rid of it, but it's a lot of money. And when the right number is offered to me for a car, it goes bye-bye. That's just the way it is, because it's just too much money. Or I just got to get rid of a lot of other stuff to justify to keep it. But it's the track pack, and it doesn't have the comfortable seats. It's got the recaro seats. It's a total race car. It's got the carbon fiber wheels. I mean, I have the protection on the wheels and tires, all that stuff. But that stuff, you hit something with that wheel, that's $5,000. I mean, it's a race car. It's designed to be taking the racetrack, so I have barely even driven that. Is the Challenger Gold Rush wide body red eye. Never really was fixated on buying one of those this past year, but then Carvana. I found this on Carvana, and that's one of 34 of the Gold Rush paint theme that I picked up. Only 34 of those were made in that color. And the red eye is kind of a very challenging car to pick up because it's the that's in that car, so it's the 800 plus horsepower Hellcat, not the 714. It was 707, then it went to 714, and then went to 797. So that's like the 797, or maybe it's 808. That car may be the 808 package. The Neiman Motors 840 with the correct settings, everything all set up for track. But I picked that up. But here's never got me a tag, and I've been gone now from being up in Virginia, so I don't know if that tag ever came in. I asked my wife before she left. There they are. Here's the little babies. Hi, little babies. Yeah, and here comes the other baby. Hey there, morning. How's it going?
This morning.
Uh-oh, here we go. Look at this guy here, look. Hey, is this your
I
dog?
walked the
Look at
dogs.
Look.
And
What's that all about?
I walked the dogs. And Ginger was walking.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do a quick walk, so I just walked a little bit of a shorter distance. And I knew Ginger would go to the bathroom in Rob's yard, but I forgot my bag.
Oh no, here we go.
So I was walking by the yard and I was hurrying because I knew one of them would go to the bathroom. Guess what? Rob pulls out of the driveway and waves at me, and Ginger starts going to the bathroom on the sidewalk. So I cover it up with grass and leave.
Wow, she's disclosing to the community, the world. Yeah, okay. The dog antics. Nice. Cool. All right,
But I
T.
pushed it over to the side of the grass.
Yeah, I wonder why somebody had a big pile of poop in Dad's driveway one morning. Does anybody get this stuff? Do I know the popcorn routine? Our updated version of the kids' morning so far, right? So anyway, so the Carvana. I have no idea. My wife claimed that she didn't see any tags. I gotta go to my Virginia DMV portal and see if that car is in there. Because if it's in there, that means I got my tag. So yeah, there's a Gold Rush 2021. Yeah, probably saying because that was used. These other cars, it's a 2022. Everything else is brand new that I've been going through here. That's used 2021. That's a used Harley Davidson Street Bob. That's a 2021. It's like picked up like 3,000 miles on it. Now it's like 5,700 miles on it. So we're riding. There's the kid. There's me. I was not even playing. I mean, I was not playing. That if you watch that video, that was being out letting me have another motorcycle, a Pursuit. And Harley Davidson liked me, and they let me have a bunch more motorcycles. Wow. Yeah, exactly. So that was been playing. When I went to Tennessee for Labor Day weekend, was I thinking I'm going to buy some Harleys that weekend? That was like a Friday. And then this was a Saturday morning. I decided to go ahead and get myself another Street Glide. Beautiful bike. I really like that bike. Put a nice exhaust on it. It's a great bike. So, yeah, was I playing? No. All right, and there's the kid. Then this. Was this ever playing? A 2015 Ram 2500? Where'd that thing go? Yeah. Ongoing saga. Yeah, where's that truck? Yeah, we'll skip that conversation. And then that turned into my daughter wanted that truck. And then I decided I'd take that truck, a 2014 Ram, both mega cabs. And the kid said she'd part with that 450 to be able to drive the black Ram truck. So I sold the Ford F450 dually. Yeah, is my parents' couch ruined yet, right? So the deal was she had to give up that single cab for me to buy this truck and take that for me, and she could take the black truck for her. Yeah, so that was the initial plan. As that truck kind of disappeared. Yeah, right. Then we go to the Ford F-150 Lightning. So here's what's interesting. The other Ford F-150 Lightning you haven't seen a picture of, but this is now like September that I decided to buy another Ford F-150 Lightning. Oh my gosh, which I have given to one of my employees to be his vehicle. Yes. So one of my employees uses his vehicle every day of his life, and he gets to drive every day, and he actually likes it a lot, so that's good. Then, does this qualify as a vehicle? I guess. I mean, it's a purchase. You could buy a car. It ain't cheap. So, I'd have to say, was that ever planned this year? Not really. Why the hell did I buy that damn thing, right? It is a nice vehicle, though, even though it's kind of bummed when I found out it was a Chinese motor in it, but yeah, it's John Deere, and the China love and hate. So there you go. Then the wide body Charger, which that's the Frostbite Blue 2021 that Coons Buffalo Ford went out of their way to get me one, which is really cool. That's a really great. That car is so much fun. It's a drag radials in the back of it. I did I blacked out the hood. Just a beautiful car, great car. I would have driven that down here, but it's just, it doesn't make any sense with the weather, and then the availability and blah, blah, blah. And so then here's a Harley Davidson CVO that, oh my gosh, wow. Wasn't planning on buying that this year, but it used. So, here's the thing. Used, that wasn't. Used, so used, that motorcycle used. So I picked up a lot of used vehicles this year for the first time in probably a long time for me in my chapter of life. And so, used, hard to believe. Brand new, so bought that. That's the shortest time frame of vehicle I've ever owned. It was a great truck. I mean, I really wasn't planning on getting rid of that. I mean, just so many things happen to me when I buy cars that, right. But I'm just telling you, I was not fixing on buying the Ford Raptor Bronco. Yeah. And I really bought this vehicle here, really thinking that this would be kind of more my vehicle and my wife would want to drive the Ford Maverick. She just doesn't really like it. She just doesn't like the vehicle. She likes the Ford Ranger better, but this is easier to get in and out of, so I was very surprised to hear that. And here's the F450 truck back. So I bought it back. I bought back the F450 truck. Wow. Jesus Christ. There's that. There's the Lightning, but that was June or July or August. So there's the Lightning that I turned around and sold. And they paid me $20,000 to give it back to them. So when I have tons of videos on that, and there's the Carvana picture of the challenge. Then my brother, last spring, I bought my brother a nice Street Glide 2016 Police Edition. That's a really great bike. He really likes that bike. So that's really nice. So there's the Bronco. That was a great vehicle. Nice vehicle, but boy, it's just for me, it just doesn't have the room that I like in it. But a nice vehicle. It was a great vehicle. And then this here, the race truck. Wow. That was never planned. Never planned. That was all by mistake. And then here's another one. I've had my eye on a Chief Bobber for quite a while. But I really was going to do something probably next year. And I wanted to sell my Indian Scout first before I did that. But that was just such a heck of a deal to pick that unit up that I just crossed the bridge. And it really is a nice bike. And then there's the Raptor, which which never planned. How that all played out, just beyond believable. That's one of my favorite vehicles. I have to say, just a really comfortable, nice vehicle, fun vehicle. I have to say that's the nicest of the nicest yet. I have to say that's probably my favorite. And there's look at the Street Bob, Harley Davidson compared to the Indian. They're competing against those two bikes compete against one another. Look at the theme. It's kind of similar, but the look. And then the Road Glide CVO, Jesus Christ, just, beyond believable that played out. Because I tried to get Harley Davidson Financial to buy the 2022 Road Glide, orange, black theme. Get up and do it. Oh, here's some more Raptor. There I am. Yeah, so, and here, Saga. There's a Ford F-150 Lightning that I ordered in the stone metallic gray. My sales guy didn't do the greatest job of taking pictures of it. It's buried in the back lot. Yeah, that's ongoing. I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, that's become too challenging. So let's count now. I hate when it does this stuff here. Let's see if I get this thing to go back to the beginning. Let's count the cars now, okay? I'm at 30 vehicles if you count the utility vehicle. Together, so here's number 1. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I bought it back. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. I missed one in there. So I goofed up. Did I count the Challenger? So I had 30. I counted 30. If anybody wants to, I've counted it. I've counted it more than once. But doing here on my video and everything, it's 30 vehicles. I mean, if I was at the F-150 Lightning, it would be 31. So what's that divided by 52 weeks? Yeah, I would have to say it's every 10 days I've bought a vehicle. Yeah. All right, video's into 35 minutes, and yeah, I thought I'd just wrap up the year. I'm never making another morning conversation ever again this year. Yeah, this year. And I thought I'd just kind of wrap it up with the review of the cars I bought this past year, and one gentleman said it well. He said, man, Ford should be, you should be winner of the year for all the Ford vehicles you bought. I don't know. It'd be interesting what other individual, and I'm not talking about wholesalers, people have dealer license. I'm talking about an individual. How many Ford vehicles, who's bought the most Ford? I'm talking about one per. I'm not talking about me having 3, 4, 5 kids, then between my older kids and my dad and everybody else are buying cars. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about one person that goes back and forth. Well, we know. Ford's to the point with me, like, no, we're done. I've already told you that. That's why this whole deal with this Ford F-150 Lightning thing just ain't going down. Ford's like, we're done with you. We're just not, you got to give a bunch of stuff up. So I'm not doing that for the Lightning. Lightning truck is a cool truck. Is the Raptor truck funner? All day long. Yeah, so the F-150 truck, it's more about if you don't want to pay for gas and you know how to manage your staying local with that thing, there you go. But as far as a real truck and the fun factor, no, F-150 Lightning truck, it's nice, but it's not like your conventional ICE vehicle. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for everybody watching my YouTube channel throughout this year and the support. Nice comments. Get some really great comments. Really appreciate that. I really do. Yeah, am I crazy? Yeah, I'm crazy. I know that. What's next year going to be? And that's what I didn't even show. I didn't even show all the vehicles I parted with. I mean, a video would just get too long. But think about all the cars that I got rid of. Yeah, Mach 1's not around anymore. That's gone. The Cyber Orange Bronco's gone. That's disappeared. The Toyota Avalon's gone. I mean, just to start going through my index of, of what the GT350 Mustang, that one's gone. If I start going through the vehicles I traded, a lot of those vehicles, not all of them, but, a lot of them had to have trades, but that's the crazy thing. And I didn't even want to know. I didn't want to know. What was the number of cars I had January 1st of 2022 versus what I have now? Oh, yeah. It's more, but I have a plan, in all reality, next year I'm selling things, so there's no way. I'm not going to continue to hold on stuff because it just makes no sense. Yeah, do I make any sense? Yeah, I hear you. All right, everybody, once again, thanks for watching my channel and subscribing and sharing the information, and hope my channel helps you have a better day. Maybe that's the idea here. Let's stay motivated and upbeat, right? Let's just kind of try to keep it that way. And what does 2023 bring? Man, let's just hope that we have a better year in 2022, right? I mean, I wonder how most people's 2022 was. If you watch my video, you're like, this guy had a great 2022. I did. I had a great year. And I'm not complaining by any means. So, change administration, did it affect me? As I told you, it's like, be careful what you wish for. I don't think some people wish for something and they wish they didn't wish for now. For me, actually, it's kind of been to my advantage in many ways. But anyways, hope everybody has a blessed day, has a great New Year's Eve, and stay tuned for next year's videos, which that would sound like a long way away if I was talking to you 6 months ago. And stay tuned for more adventures and conversations. And what are we doing today? Yeah, what am I doing today, right? Yeah, it's overcast, rain. Actually, I'm picking up some highway pegs for my Road Glide. So I'm going to run down the Harley dealer and pick those up. So that's a little project. and take care of a bunch of other errands and things you got to do and business work and everything else. So let me get to work. Even though it's Saturday, you got to go to work. So God bless. Stay tuned and stay safe.